Welcome to this edition of the Land of Work and Joy podcast. I'm your host, Mr. K, with my co-hosts, Saint J and Blessed.
Yeah.
Achan gents, muni febu ino?
Proper
Yeah.
Easy.
But toothpick utomkana machira diena ma.
Wala ishiva shari.
Guys, mateweto ya
December 17 never up to.
Mukasitumira kona isenga mukudia mansima.
Eh. Pressures all.
Nah. Oh yeah.
What's up?
Should I bring that topic up?
Just bring it out, sir.
Nope.
Bring it out.
Anyway, Zakambache, some people owe us some music.
Oh, yeah.
No, not that. Oh, yeah. I tell you.
No. But with me, I and my team, we've worked things out. No. This is me. Hear it from me.
Hey, my team. Where's the song, bro?
Okay, so me
5
and my
months,
team,
yakwana.
we've worked out things. Today, this is the 10th of December. Expect some new music, probably the 19th or the 20th of this month.
Oh,
So this is the way we are going to end the year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just have to give you something, guys. And thank you for being patient with Blessed. Yeah, it's something new.
We've waited for ages.
The anticipation, man.
Bruh, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's get into it for today. We're discussing constitutional amendment issues. Now, I don't know about you guys. If you've been have you been following this whole Bill 7 constitutional amendment
Here and
issue?
there.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Do you understand what's going on?
Yeah.
Melton. Briefly?
Briefly?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay, I think me and you are on the same page. You know, if it's songu barerandama, guys, it's and you know what's worrying for me? There's a lot of English in the discussion of this thing.
Yeah.
But, because it's a legal type of language as well, and, we're dealing with legal issues.
Yeah.
For me, they understand. Maybe I'm just a bit slow, but anyway, but for me,
Oh, yeah.
So I just thought it's important we have a brief discussion about this, just to kind of get a feel of what this thing is. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to understand, but we'll try with the best of our knowledge to break it down so that once we can kind of be on a page. We're not lawyers, we're not sources, we're just podcasters, as you can see, / many other things. So put our Pangama errors, please feel free to correct us. But enjoy and learn what you can as well. For those of you who don't understand much of this Bill 7.
The Bill 7.
Okay, so let me get into it, gentlemen. So Bill 7, the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill number 7 of 2025 is a proposed law that aims to amend the Constitution to introduce several changes to the country's electoral and government systems. The bill has been the subject of significant debate and legal challenges. My debates are today for back and forth. We have people on different sides of the coins. Other people think
it's okay to...
it's time we had this bill. We really do need this bill. Other people kind of feel this bill is being rushed.
Yeah.
And, we have those type of debates around it. So the current situation in the bill is the Constitutional Court declared the original Bill 7 unconstitutional in June 2025 due to a lack of wide public consultation. The government has since retabled the bill in Parliament, arguing that the legislative process in Parliament's exclusive domain and cannot be stopped by the court once in motion. The bill is currently still under consideration and has not yet been passed into law. Okay, so let's just see what a few of the things that are included in the bill. Okay. Expansion of Parliament.
Okay.
So that's increasing the number of constituency-based seats in the National Assembly from 156 to 211.
Yeah.
So more MPs.
More MPs.
More MPs in Parliament. Okay. Then electoral system reform, introducing a mixed member proportion representation system to reserve seats for women, youth, and persons with disabilities. This is one of the clauses they are looking at. So it's progressive, and it's one of the clauses they are trying to use to sell the bill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then we have local government changes, removing the 2-term limit for mayors and council chairpersons, and including constituency-based MPs in local councils. Okay? Then there's also the by-election ones, which kind of says, like, if the MP passes away or resigns from their position as MP, you don't go to by-elections.
You don't go to by-elections.
Yeah.
They just appoint.
The party the candidate belongs to just appoints a replacement candidate, sort of to say.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the clauses that is being looked at. It takes away from the democracy of things. It reduces the people's involvement in choosing leaders who represent them, and it gives the parties more power to choose loyalists who do their bidding instead of the people's bidding. Yeah, so these are some of the clauses that are in there. We're not going to go through everything. If you do need to see what other clauses are involved in there in the bill, feel free. You have phones, my internet, Yaripo. You can go to the Parliament page. The website is there. You'll get the very accurate information there. There are also very reputable news outlets. You can check. You will find all the information on the bills there. So now, in terms of this bill has been a bit controversial. You know, there are people who have been sort of to say, not against the bill as per se, but the manner in which the bill has been brought into existence.
Yeah.
Okay? There are two issues surrounding this bill. Let's just say that. The first issue being, the first issue that has been raised is to say the manner in which the amendment is being done is unconstitutional. Tabadekonka, the correct procedure. The government is not following the correct procedure to amend the constitution. And then two, there are certain contentious clauses within the bill itself, like the one we're talking about, the by-election.
The by-election,
Yes.
yeah.
That's one of them. Okay? So those are the two issues. They're saying it hasn't been done in a correct manner. So just to kind of go through quickly how the correct manner of the constitutional amendment was supposed to have been done. Okay, so these are some of the key steps. Correct as if we add on. So there's the initiation and publication. Okay? A constitutional amendment bill is drafted, often after a review committee, like the 2025 technical committee. Okay? So they put together a committee of individuals who go around and gather the people's inputs into what they want to be changed and put into law.
Okay.
Whatever constitutional amendments they want.
Yes.
Like if where they went going province to province to province, so that they can get people's input on the constitution.
On the constitution, okay.
So that's what they mean when they say it should be people driven.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are the ones who tell you what they want changed. So one of the challenges with the current bill in the way it was done is that the bill was just introduced minus the people's involvement. Okay. They just brought you the bill and there were these clauses. Who sat down to agree on what to say is in those bills is anybody's guess. But I think that's why the government was saying, no, we picked from previous submissions from previous constitutional review, from constitutional amendments, from past amendments and whatnot, submissions rather.
Okay.
But initially, the correct way is when they want to draft the bill, they create that committee. The committee comes, gets people's submissions, and then now, once those submissions are made, the technical committee makes its report.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if they hand it over to the executive or ECZ or whoever. Then they take it to Parliament. But that wasn't done, okay? So the bill must be published in the government gazette at least 30 days before the first reading. So this is more in the technicalities. So the second step is parliamentary approval. The bill goes through the first, second, and third readings in the National Assembly. For most changes, it needs support from at least 2/3 majority of the members of Parliament at the third reading. So after the submissions are made to the committee and this bill is taken to Parliament, it's read through by our MPs who represent us as the lawmakers. Able to decide, okay? They are our representatives. They should represent our views. So even in regards to the Constitution, they must take a position that is representative of us.
Mm-hmm.
So your bill
The
ngabaya
people,
umu-
the citizens.
yes, they need to see,
Mm-hmm.
are these suggestions in the constitutional amendment in line with what my constituents would want?
Okay.
Based off of the submissions and what my people have told me, then the MP should make a vote as to whether they are for or against that bill.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the second bit, okay? The third bit, that's presidential assent. After passing in parliament, the bill goes to the president for assent. If the president doesn't assent within 7 days or after a submission, it's deemed assented to. I'm not sure what that English means. I'm thinking maybe it means it's now and void.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't apply and everything like that, or it doesn't go through.
Yeah. So in summary, that's kind of like what the process would be. So what happened with our situation is that there's a lot of things that were not done according to the way it's supposed to
be
typically
done.
done.
Yeah. The
So we had the whole issue of where the bill was kind of just introduced. It came out of nowhere. And the president was seen saying, the people, we have agreed. The people have also agreed. And people had a problem with that. Say, but who did you agree with?
Yeah.
Because there was no consultation, or our input was never there on this bill. So you kind of saw them trying to go around and explain to people why it was done in that manner. So it was taken to parliament and it was supposed to have been gone for this same parliamentary approval. But some MPs objected it, how would you do that? So the process which you used is not correct.
Yes.
But that's when now you have the Concord stops the procession of the bill. Because there's a case that Munia Zulu and I've forgotten who else took to the Constitutional Court to say that this process is unconstitutional because it was not, they did not get consensus from the people.
They did not follow the procedure.
Yes, they did not follow the procedure, in other words. The people didn't get their chance to make submissions and to actually say what things they want amended. The government just came with the bill. So based off of that court and whatever they decided on the ruling kind of said, the ruling was that the Bill 7 is unconstitutional because it did not involve
the public,
the people's input.
Bill 7.
So you don't have the people's input deeming it unconstitutional because the Constitution is a people-driven document. Yeah. So that's where the challenge was. So after that, the president kind of pulled the bill off. He kind of shelved it for a bit, said, we've pulled the bill off. Then fast forward, they came and made the committee now. Say, okay, we're going to get people's submissions. That committee they made was supposed to have happened in the beginning, but then they did it now. So that commission also had its own controversies. Other people were saying the people who have been selected on the commission were handpicked by the government, the executive. So it's kind of already like a rigged process and a biased process. That was some people's thoughts,
huh?
But anyway, the committee still went on. The technical committee was still assembled, and they went on to collect views from around the provinces. The process of also getting people's submissions was also mired in some controversy here and there. Some NGOs and CSOs expressed that people didn't have much time to make submissions. There were a lot of inefficiencies. But either way, that whole process went through. They gathered whatever submissions they could. I think in total they were saying something like they got around 11,000 submissions from the whole situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So even the timeline, the time given for the submissions, some people complained saying, it's too little. You can't get inadequate submissions within that short time frame. But either way, they went through and did that and put up their report. So now from their report now, fast forward to recently when it was announced that the committee, had finished taking their submissions, but the bill was reintroduced into Parliament on the floor of Parliament in its original form, minus the submissions that the committee...
So
so it's a lot of steps here and there, back and forth. A lot of things, a lot of unconventional things kind of like happening in that manner.
Okay.
So that raises a lot of red flags for, a lot of the CSOs and opposition parties and just people generally. Say, but why aren't things being done in this way?
In a
Then
correct
the,
way.
the communication and transparency of the process has also not been very good. Because certain things are just being done. You just see certain announcements being made.
Yeah.
Whereas how you got to that announcement was never discussed. Like, okay, but when was that decision
When
made?
did you make that decision?
Yeah.
So there's the technical committee's reports, which was supposed to be submitted to the president. I think it was. They made their submissions. There's also one of the clauses I think they said they were not for, which they suggested, like the by-election one. The committee was like, "Nah, it's not a very good clause, and what's this?" But then there was also the delimitation report, because delimitation has been a big issue in this amendment as well.
Yeah.
Where they're suggesting new constituency boundaries. Because some constituencies are deemed a bit big.
So they
and
want to
it kind
cut
of
them.
The rationale is some of these constituencies are big. So they miss out on development because the CDF allocated to those areas is not adequate to meet the big constituencies. So when you break them up into smaller ones, I'm guessing the CDF allocation is supposed to be better in that way. And they can get development in a more equitable way. That's the argument for that bill.
Yeah, certain constituencies are big. Mandev.
Yeah,
It's the biggest, huh?
I'm not sure.
It's like it's Mandev.
Yeah, but that's that we could probably say in Lusaka.
Yeah, in Lusaka.
But in these other provinces, they're also like quite massive
Of course.
constituencies in terms of geography.
Yeah.
But so this is where it's at. So the bill is back in Parliament in its original form. So again, it causes a rift. Say, but then why did we spend all of that money? You spend taxpayers' money to form a committee and carry out that whole process, because that process costs money.
Yeah.
Your taxpayers'
Resources.
money, people's taxpayers' money. And then now you are not even giving proper rationale. You're just saying, "Oh, we're going to scrap this report. We're just going to go with the original thing." Then why did we waste all of that money? So there have been a lot of issues around it in relation to that. But in short, that's our little summary of
The Bill 7
Constitutional Amendment. So it's got a bit of here and there. I just thought it's important that we talk about it.
Yeah.
Because one of the challenges I've had with
The Bill 7.
not just Bill 7, constitutional amendment generally, I think one of the big challenges I see is that, one, as most people have been saying, most of these amendment processes are not people-driven. They get hijacked by the government. Not just this one, but even previous governments.
Yeah.
So they come up with some of these bills that will favor their political parties, or certain clauses are put in
That
to
will
kind
benefit
of
them.
squeeze or punish or limit certain opposition parties. But also the biggest challenge I've seen is that when conversations around these issues are happening, the majority of Zambians are excluded. Not because people are not talking about them in the news and all this, but the language of discussion of this issue is limited to the few who are very educated, who can articulate and understand those issues. But the typical person on the ground, okay, iwe bill 7 or process ya kuchinja constitution even just constitution walishwa tinishi. From my little research that I've done, like ngawapa ground, you ask, oh, walishwa bill 7 but that is the person who this thing is supposed to be amended to. Now, if you don't even understand those issues, how then do you make a submission or contribute to that document being changed? And that's why I feel like there's a big challenge, because then it means the people who are taking part in this thing is a small group of people.
Because I think the problem is that the government doesn't take time to actually break things even in our local languages that people can understand what they are going for and what the constitution is about and how they want to change certain bills and everything like that. I think there's there's need to have more sensitization and break down certain things in our local languages.
Yes.
So that if when I Sungu, we can understand
We can
and have at
understand.
least an idea of what you're talking about and have taken part in the Constitution Amendment. I think the government and everyone on board that are working on these things, they need to do that.
They need to do more. In certain other, in like previous constitutional amendments, there've been those efforts to kind of translate some of these things into the local languages. But I think it's not just about the translation; it's about also making the understanding and language.
The language,
easier. Because even
Yeah.
if it's in English, okay, it's not end up at school once. Hey, we can all kind of speak English and read.
At assent.
Assent.
You know, but the president assent.
Kwacha imbiati
kwacha-
ascend deemed assented.
If the president doesn't assent within 7 days after his submission, it's deemed assented to.
Yeah.
Like it's certain language which is too legalistic for some of us to understand. But if we don't stay engaged like abantu, come to people's understanding, break it down to, of course, not everything, but at least grasp the general concept of chitika. Engage over the constitution.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of artists, you've got a lot of these people
But
who
you know,
are,
like, sorry to cut you off, like, Zagado has been doing that.
He's been doing that?
With Jito. Yeah.
The constitutional amendment?
I don't know about the constitution, but he's been doing something concerning that same thing.
Okay, he's been doing stuff with him on that, but what we're talking about now is with regards to the constitution.
Yeah.
Because the constitution is a document that us Zambians is supposed to benefit us, the citizens. So if us, the majority of the citizens, don't understand what that is, we miss out on the benefit. And that document becomes subject to manipulation by people who want to take it for their own benefit, being the politicians.
And I think, on my opinion, I think even those MPs, they're not really doing a proper job and thing.
Yes.
Go back to your constituents and sit down with your people.
Sensitize.
Yes, like, okay, what we want to change is ABCD and break. Not nga mwabwera okonomba mwafya mkulande efisungu. No, we want to do this like you are in Chelenga, I don't know where
you're in Cherenge.
and you're using English to.
How many people are going to understand you? It doesn't make sense.
Translate.
Yes.
How does that work? So but I think that should be a bigger discussion. It should be its own topic on this podcast. I think maybe the theme could be political ignorance, because we have a lot of political ignorance in Zambia. On some level, not deliberately, because political education is supposed to come through our schools and all. We all did civics. Not all of us, but for those of us who did civics. I remember we did civics, but even civics not
really understanding.
So that's what you're not really understanding, and because we're young, the understanding and appreciation of some of those civic lessons was never really entrenched. Because only now when you get older, you become a voter, you're a citizen,
then now you begin to reflect,
and a lot of those decisions that politicians make affect you. Then now you start thinking about it, say, wait, like, who signed to go and get in congratulations from these guys? But idiot decisions still, do they choose them? Bread at a certain point, 10.
Not even that, bro. 5, 3 kwacha, 5 kwacha, 7 kwacha.
Most is in that.
Bro, we could get most, I don't know, for 5 kwacha, 7 kwacha, 15 kwacha, 8 kwacha.
You see that? No, but but that's as a consequence of, the decisions that our leaders are making, that are civic decisions, and we don't understand some of these issues.
And here's one thing I appreciate about, I think it's the Minister of Education and those doing the curriculum and everything, they've made civic education to be compulsory.
It has to be.
Yeah, so it is compulsory. Whether you...
I actually thought
it is now compulsory.
It has to be.
I actually thought it should be the time I was in school. So I think I should just be taking this.
And I think all the way up to grade 12.
Yeah, so it's
and
compulsory.
if you don't pass civics, then you don't get your certificate because civics is important. It's
a
about
current affairs.
Yeah.
It's about our government.
So it's grooming
It
you
should
from
be-
that age to be
so that
aware.
even as you are going in as a voter,
Yes.
now it's for Chibombachi system. You're
Yes.
not being manipulated or lied to say, oh, constitutional amendment. Actually, we can even start it from here when the process is supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do you know, like speaking about that, there was this thing like when you're on Facebook, and then you're creating this account, then it's there, like it says there, like, oh, political views. A lot of people just used to put not interested.
Yeah.
Or not gonna. I was like, dude,
Why are you not interested
In
about
this part,
political
huh?
views and everything?
it's
like
only
that?
a few people that only used to put, okay, my views are, if the president does this, I'm with this. But a lot of people, especially like if we feel like I'm a youths, a lot of us was just not interested,
Yes.
not interested.
And you see, the thing with that, and I
Yeah.
used to be like that as well, but
Yeah.
what I've realized is whether you're interested or not, the politics will go on. And if you're not
Yeah.
involved in the decision making, certain decisions will be made on your behalf.
Then you'll be there complaining.
You are still a victim of the decisions that are made even in your absence. So you might as well take part and, turn the tide, or at least move things towards your direction rather than ukwikala.
Yeah.
But generally, what do you think about, let's say, for instance, the clause that talks about by-elections?
I think
When an MP retires or passes away, should the party, continue? Should they just find what's this, or we should still stick to the old method of going for by-elections?
as in my opinion, I think sticking to the old way that we're doing things, because it's kind of biased.
Okay.
What of those that are just independent, right? They are not in any political party.
Yes.
Yeah.
In such a case now, so there's that room of saying, okay, now we might go to by-election and everything like that. So if there's one that belongs to a certain party, now they get to pick. I think in that context there's some biasness.
Yeah, biasness is like, it could be involved. Like, it's there. So you guys are just going to be very, Bakala Sarafe, the right candidate. And
Yeah.
what's the criteria of choosing?
Yeah.
I like,
You know?
is it the person that the public and the people from that constituency want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it's just from you, like, you feel, okay, this is the right person. Kishiwenga mwalimu webako, mwalimu shitako promise something that,
Hey.
So I feel
Yeah.
it's not the right
but
thing.
but then again, because there's also the issue of how costly these by-elections are, and that's something that Zambians throughout the years have also been complaining. Say, so nobody on because there was a time when there were so many by-elections, like.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. People have to travel. You have to organize resources to have that election. You hire people at the polling stations. Materials must be printed. That's a lot of money.
That's too much.
So wouldn't it just make sense to say, okay, already, because the MP who's already there is from that particular party, why not just let them finish off?
No. I think with me, no. I think with me, no. If like the way I've said it out, there's going to be a lot of biasness towards the picking of a person. You'd find that, like I said, they promised you something, like we'll give you something. So you've been faithful to a political party, so we're going to give you something.
Yeah.
You're not really sure that's the person abantu badefy on the ground to vote for. So
Okay, I get that, but it's one of those things. It's not an easy thing again, because you can't also just ignore the resource aspect of it.
it's taxpayers' money, bro. Like, yeah.
So you're okay just spending.
Yeah, let people vote for who they want.
I think, like on that part again. So you're saying, you're saying no to that?
I'm saying no to that. Like, what I'm saying is, I think that clause is okay, where the party gets to continue with what they are doing.
So about the independent party, kula kwatama by election, yeah, actually fair win.
No. I don't think there's need for by-elections when the MP dies or retires. That party should just continue.
I get your
The
point.
election will come through once the actual election year comes.
I get your point.
So then there'll be no
The
representation.
challenge that is there also is that, one, there's the cost of it I've already mentioned. But two, also, that MP who's there, yes, it can be the person who's there and wants this, but there's a legacy to it. There's a tendency to, like, when somebody passes away, you put a totally different person who's from a totally different party. They also just come on with their own things and scrap off even those policies that are beneficial, which the other party would have suggested through their candidate. Why not just let them run their course in 5 years? 5 years is not a long time. Already we're here, 2026.
Yeah, I know. So now my point is, those independent, they don't belong to any political party. In such a case, they say they'll hold what? By-elections. Do you think that's fair enough?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
For the independents.
Independent.
Okay.
An MP that doesn't belong to any political party. In such a case, they'll get to hold by-election. So in that, are you telling me it's not a cost?
It is, but how many independents are there?
I think now we have quite a number. I don't know if they're 5 or 4.
But how many MPs are there?
Why?
115, sir.
And what percentage is that of what percentage is 5 of 150?
But if you look at,
it's a small number.
I know.
And even if all those guys died, it's still a smaller number than compared. Sorry.
No.
Even if all those guys retired, not died.
We're in context.
We're in context because death is a natural thing. Whether you want and at some point it will catch you.
That goes for even retirement. Let's say all those 5 retire. It's still not a big enough cost compared to like the people from the parties, because those are the larger numbers.
No. But again, if you look at,
and how many of them realistically are going to die or retire within that year?
Even then, and and if you look at,
and even if that's what I'm saying, even if all of them do, that percentage is so small and insignificant compared to other parties.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just the way. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Like the way Tarsila Lungu's seat has been nullified in Parliament. Okay, meaning she's no longer an MP. Meaning that MP seat is vacant.
Yeah.
So what that means now is that they have to go to by-election. But that doesn't make any sense, because a few days will be in 2026. 3 months into the year, was it 2 months? Whatever, a few months into the year, we start going to election period. What time is that MP going to have to start making changes?
No.
So now, in the case of Tarsila Lungu, right? You said a party gets to pick. All right? So now, if PF again gets to pick Tarsila Lungu, and when the seat was declared nullified, do you think she's valid for that seat?
Well, I'm not sure what the rules say.
Well, that one will be wild.
I'm not sure what the rules say, because then that also becomes a bit of a special situation, because that person's seat got nullified. So I don't know if somebody whose seat has been nullified can come back to contest for it. So I'm not sure about that. So I can't really speak to that. You know, but like the situation I've just given, I got position
in 3 months' time. Yeah.
You know, there are situations like that.
I get
or
your
if
point.
you question 1 year, what change are you going to make?
Go again.
I think there should be a limit. After a certain period of time, that can happen.
I think that's the reason why they're saying you can't hold by-election within 180 days. So within 180 days, that's when you get to hold your by-election.
Okay, anyway. But anyway. Kansi ndiye mwe mavutira mu parliament zabovutana soche elangu akamba ifuna ya nkuku ifuna ya nyama
Tibon
po kuku. But yeah, that's Bill 7 in a nutshell. We just hope going forward, our leaders can do the correct things, follow procedure, respect the citizens, involve them in the process, educate them a bit more on this. Because the reality is that our civic education and understanding is very low. And that creates a big problem, because the people are trying to make these reforms for, they don't understand. And when somebody doesn't understand, they'll vote even against a good policy that's supposed to benefit them.
True.
It makes even you guys' job harder to pass these particular things. But that's that. We'll have a bigger discussion on political ignorance. Yeah. So what's our next topic, gentlemen?
Hey, it's this boy.
On a lighter note.
On a lighter note. That was so serious. Check out my posture.
Ndimo maficha MPs mfia mwambirati.
No, but it's good. we are a medium of communication as Land of Wake and Joy podcast, so we get to educate people where slagging and everything like that. So certain topics we just have to talk about them.
You can't ignore them, brother. You can't always just be laughing and jokes up, but it's serious business.
Yeah.
But now we can get some lighter jokes and stuff.
Yeah, it's that boy.
Which boy is that?
16-year-old boy.
16-year-old boy.
These are Zimbabweans, yeah?
Okay. There's that. Some are saying he's a Zim guy. Some is saying he's a South African guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe let's paint the situation because some people don't know about this issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just paint the picture for us. Like, what exactly are we talking about here?
So we're talking about this 16-year-old boy who was there's this sex tape that came out
viral,
right? That went viral.
Yes.
This 16-year-old boy was driving a 33-year-old.
Driving
crazy.
Nanga chizungu icho manje. Driving.
Controlling. Beating the drums.
Ale chofa.
Of a 33-year-old teacher who said a maths teacher. Like, yeah, so it's a sex tape. This 16-year-old boy was having sex with a 33-year-old
teacher. Yo, that's serious, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The gap, bro. 17 years? 18 years?
Sex is a normal thing. Why do we get to watch them having that?
That's something we need to get into the psychology of that.
Yeah.
But the reality is that people watch those things.
Yeah.
And, that video came out and a lot of people got to see that issue. This young boy manjarating this elderly lady.
Oh, I heard. I haven't watched the video, by the way. So, like, just
are
from
you
people,
sure, man?
I'm very sure.
Why are you so quick to say
you don't have to show me, bro? Listen.
No, we don't have it.
I have heard from people. But I told he was like slapped. Like, what's that?
Bro, are you sure you didn't watch it?
No,
slapping.
So like that.
Even the way you are doing your hand, it's a bit too accurate.
I mean, imagine it's like, how is the slap? Because listen, and then I say, what was he slapping?
You can't say you didn't watch it.
No, I'm very sure. I'm telling you the truth.
Anyway, we'll take your word for it. But
Yeah.
hey, I have my reservations.
Like, listen,
so.
I've got a friend who, even brothers who
on,
narrate
man,
these
come
things well,
on.
man.
Brothers. You've seen.
Yeah, from that now,
you narrate the actual
you heard
story,
from a friend of a friend.
Yeah, you know.
But
But that's true, though. That's about 16.
Yeah, 16.
Apparently, it was quite the performance. This
Yeah,
young man.
so everyone, like, I would say a lot of people have been like, okay, he performed very well. Like, if you look at the age difference and the age gap between the boy and the woman, like, it's that.
Bro, why are you
But
saying
the
people
way-
are saying?
Hey, but what's your opinion?
Yeah, I'm going to say
Of
that.
his
Like,
performance.
You're saying people were saying.
He did quite good, bro. Like,
So you watched it?
that boy.
So, listen, I haven't watched this video. So I'll ask another question. There's a certain lady online that says, how would a 16-year-old boy have that? Like, she used machine in form of penis here.
Yeah.
She used machine. So how do he have that machine? Guys, 16. And then,
Who is
you know.
At my much come on across
I
there.
didn't end up.
Yeah, I think I
didn't see that
tagged you,
video.
bro. I
No, I
tagged you.
didn't see the. I didn't see the
Actually,
video.
that's what I'm talking about.
I tagged you at takwaba. Uri omwao mwaiche uri. Chonse chirya.
Leonce machine.
Like, bro, to me that doesn't look like a 16-year-old boy, like, bro.
Why? Because of his anatomy or the way he just looks physically?
The way he
physically
was
just
doing it with the woman.
The same
But
lady.
you see, again, sometimes kwaba feel like abantu balisana talent.
Aye.
Certain people, ija game ndiye che yake.
They talent.
So you think
Yeah,
that's
man.
his talent, that boy?
I don't know, bro. I can't say that for sure. I don't know what he's on.
So then
I
he
ain't
can
seen
put
the
use to the
video.
talent, right?
maybe that's his talent. Maybe that's what he's naturally good at. Some people, I think some people are naturally good at certain things.
Okay.
In the same way, like some people are natural fighters.
Okay.
You know, like you can be young,
Yeah.
but we put you toe to toe with him. What he can do to you, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think certain things don't really have to do with age. The reason why people are looking at it from an age perspective is that in our societies, typically when you look at sexuality, it's something that we expect people to start in adulthood.
Yeah.
That is the correct way of doing things in our
yeah.
society. But unfortunately, regardless of that expectation, the reality is that people start engaging in some of these activities earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Either through experimentation or unfortunately being abused.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the other aspects,
Abused
even
too.
with this video, I saw somebody made a comment to say, okay, this whole thing that we are talking about, because everybody was kind of having a light moment with it, and you had like some of these women commenting to say, that boy is very good. You need to find me. Is there a boy like that who can do it in Zambia? Find him for us.
Following, yeah.
You know, we need to find that boy. He comes to service and whatnot. They're kind of making all these commentary on this boy and his
Yeah.
performance. But somebody wrote to say, this whole situation, let's reverse it now. If that was a male teacher and a female student,
Who is 16 years?
would this issue be looked at the same?
It would have been the other way.
And that made me kind of think to say, you know, there's this way in which the sexual abuse of boys is kind of just glossed
It's
over. And
like
passed
it's
over.
it's overlooked.
Yeah, it's overlooked. And that causes a lot of damage because you have this young person who's being abused. And for a lot of us boys, we're kind of conditioned to say, oh,
Yeah.
It's
like,
okay.
it's okay.
It's
all
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
When
Like
in the
a-
actual sense, you're getting abused.
Yes, like people are looking at like, wow, mukari. You see, even those comments, they are busy saying, oh, mukari online and that type of thing. But in actuality, you are being abused because psychologically,
Yeah.
physically, you might be prepared for that, but psychologically, you're not prepared for what it's going to do to
Yeah.
you. You develop certain unhealthy sexual habits.
Yeah. True.
Desires, all
Yes.
those things. Yeah.
Because you've been handled at a point where your mind is not mature to understand what's going on.
It's more like you've been exposed to
Yes.
information that your brain and
brain
your
cannot
whatever
handle.
cannot handle at that age.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So there's that whole aspect of it, and it's unfortunate. And so you find a lot of boys are abused by women in that context. I think a lot of boys are abused like
True,
that because
true.
you don't even know it's abuse. You think, oh,
It's okay.
squad,
I'm having.
you know,
Tamanga zone,
you think you're a G, but there's more stuff to it. You know?
Yeah.
I'll give you like an example. Like there's a particular person I knew some time back,
Yeah.
and this individual was somebody who would claim that, you know, they're quite prolific at sex and you know, just engaging women. So this one time, it's three of us. It's me, the same person, and another friend. And this person is bragging about how they slept with an elderly lady. Okay, saying, oh, because he had this jacket he was wearing. He's saying, you know how I got this jacket? There was an elderly lady who had a boutique who would sell these jackets. So I went through and told her, no, I'm trying to buy a few things here and there. So after he goes through there to go buy this jacket, he starts a conversation with the lady because he thinks he's very prolific at, you know, approaching women and that type of thing. So it's one of those guys who's very confident, arrogant, sort of like say about that whole thing. So he's got that thing where when it comes to approaching women, he doesn't have, to him, it's like, it's the chase, it's a game.
Yeah.
You know, so the bigger the challenge, the better he feels and the more confident he seems. So he goes to this woman and talks to her and, you know, he starts trying it on with her. He starts flirting with her. And surprisingly, this woman kind of like eggs him on.
Yeah.
And, you know, they end up getting into a situation and he sleeps with this woman according to him. And this woman just gives him the jacket for free. Like, I know, so good, man. Like, let's just keep this thing running for a bit.
Serious.
So he's there now telling the story, and at the end of it, he's like, "Hey, not you guys." I
mean, like, he won.
So now the other dude said, "Dude," because in the story he says like there was a bunch of them, there was a group of them,
Oh,
you know, and I think when he bought the thing, I think she also singled him out. Say, "Oh no, come through." Like after he bought the jacket, that type of thing. So the other guy is like, "Okay, so bro, you there bragging, say that you slept with this elderly woman. So now why do you think of all those guys you were with, she only picked on you?" So now you could see the guy didn't have an answer for it. He says, "Do you think you're special in some way? Do you know that some of these elderly ladies,
Yeah, true.
you know, and you are just the idiot that she managed to pick on to say this.
It's like you're the easiest target.
Yes, you're
like,
the easiest target. And he kind of got deflated after that. Like,
it's like, nah, you
"Ah,
don't
no,
mean
it's not
that."
like that. And, but when that guy said that, it opened another perspective in my mind to some of these things.
Yeah.
Some of these things you look at as challenges and all that,
Yeah.
they're death traps.
True.
Some of these people you look at, you say, "Oh, man, these are elderly people who have a lot of experience. You don't know how they've moved. You don't know what situation they've been in. To you are there doing that. And even that boy, he's there, he's doing that. You think, oh, I'm a G. Probably at that age, you're not even thinking, is this woman HIV positive?
Oh,
Yeah.
What could she give me? What happens in the context if I catch something from her?"
I kind of agree with what you're saying. People say, like, it's not every woman that you lay with in bed. Like, some of these women, they've got bad energy. The moment you lay
Yes.
with them in bed, like, your life is a mess. You never you find that things will never go well for you. So in such a context, I agree with you. Like, you might think like, friend and everything.
Yeah.
And everything, you've got the game.
Yeah.
When in the actual sense, things will never go good for you. in your
So
life.
there are all those aspects of that. So as a young person, as a young guy, I think you have to be very careful when it comes to some of these things. The way you are introduced to sex matters a lot because it shapes your perception of what sex is, and it also shapes your attitude towards sex. For some people, that if you are exposed to it too early, it messes you up, and you might develop an unhealthy appetite for it.
Yeah.
Or I'd call a sex addict, which also opens you up to other avenues of being disturbed or getting harmed.
Yeah.
Because now, if you want to hammer everything, that's walking.
Hey.
Bruh, you're opening yourself up
skate,
to,
bro,
and there are guys like that where Peter feel like
You've got a name. You've got a name.
Nah. It's just some. Hey, you know who you are,
Hey,
man.
bring up a name, man. Let's make this thing
Nah,
fun.
these are sensitive issues. Man.
I'm just joking, man.
Guys are that
But
too.
there's this one person I know. I'm not going to mention
No
the
need to
name. Like,
mention
bro, this guy has got appetite. Like,
Yeah.
he will tell you, this one. So now this kind of guy, he's a friend, of course, but he's that type of guy. They walk on a girlfriend. You'd find that
Is hammered.
if your girlfriend is very weak, I would find that he's hammered your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Girlfriend that week.
Yes.
But that's that's what I'm saying. It's reckless. Yeah, cool. You having your thing again, but it's reckless because
You don't know the person.
That for me, I think that's what has saved me. Say there's always that thing. Say I don't know who this person is. Bro. I don't know how you move, who you are, what you carrying on you. Because, bro,
Sure.
it's just us guys who just behave silly out here. Go and ask the nurses and the doctors who actually see people coming into their offices getting jabs. My STD to swende command. So I'm not even to swende. Like anankara chena chintu chimera. Like perfection.
Kuri sampo mdani.
Hey. Some of these things, like, because you don't have that privy to know if at the end and and certain people for certain diseases, they are carriers.
Yes.
So that disease might not manifest physically on them, but even
The moment like
guys anadwala chifuwa bwanji chochesi chipora TB mankwala yaliko
Atipi bakwana.
Oh,
How come yako sipola?
Eh,
Life
how come
is
yako
spirit,
sipo?
why?
Eh.
Wakupasa poka ndukele
Palasi
iskapo.
mwambano namzia my ancestor. No, my village people. Stenze di kokwe mwenzo tente mu. You know, so all those things.
Anatente mu.
You know, it's unfortunate to look at that whole situation framed in that way. And also even these elderly ladies who are saying that. Because at the end of the day, that is a child.
Yeah, true.
Okay? Who is not mature enough for that interaction. And by law, Mulandudia, has that woman been arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to be arrested, taken to court, and persecuted for that. Because if we reverse the roles, can we be laughing at this whole situation?
I think there have been some weird.
Yeah, we must be fair in the way we do this thing.
And whoever
He's
is
a
even like
pedophile.
He's a shan.
whoever is done to this is
Eh.
a pedophile also.
Yes.
You know?
But
Yeah,
these are
that's the
things that you
reaction.
have. And, you know, these are things that happen in our society that we just let go around like that. And we have a light moment over it. And then now, all these men now who are going through these situations, they go out in society
Yeah.
and they take that whole abuse thing with them. So and another way it might also work is that because he slept with somebody who's older than him at a young age, he might also think it's okay to sleep with a younger lady at a young age.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a grown
yeah.
man. Because that he thinks, he's a my
And I think
grade 10 tens on Gena Mokdara. So
Tenzo tiringa bakulu.
you get what I mean?
I think kula banomba abantu bayisa kwata some weird kind of fetish.
Yeah.
Where like, hey, maybe I've dealt with a 33-year-old. I think now I need to deal with a 60.
Before I pop up 64.
I'm gonna mbuya.
Before I pop up 64.
Bruh, no.
Got one charity jumping 20.
A Jumpasina bus.
Hey.
That's crazy.
From
fam.
33,
A whole
like,
How
decade.
you move from 34?
Bruh, a whole decade.
Bruh, that's 3 generations.
Yeah,
son.
a whole decade, bruh.
That's a
You
whole
skip-
other person
skip
born.
that,
bruh.
bruh.
yeah, because even like I've said it, some people like have the weird fetish. Like it's weird.
Oh my god.
From 33 next skist. Ufuna mvela mwene mambuya wa mambeke. Like nichani.
No.
Nichani.
Nichani problem yako. Okay, what are you trying to prove, bro? Like,
But there's one question. So, I'll just speak facts. So, when that guy, when he impregnates that lady, so it can still go on even though it's still valid.
What do you
at the end
mean?
of the day.
Still, like the pregnancy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a biological process, man.
bro.
The only person who can determine whether that pregnancy is going to continue or not is the woman.
Yeah.
She's the only one who can say, I don't want to have this child or have an abortion. Other than that, you pretty much don't have any say.
Ni mwana wano mda.
So kid, you're daddy at 16.
So when she's 16, akuwa ni sanjito.
Hey, bro. Here's the thing. The
16
biological
akuwa
thing
ni
is,
sanjito.
the moment ngawamba fe kusta ejaculate and your sperms are like mature and everything, you don't have low sperm count and you don't have any issues, bro. Whether 15 ikayamba, iwe ungala tate.
Yeah. And that's where the saying also comes from, to say that anyone can father a child.
Like
Anyone can. Only wants to pango one. Your reproductive system is
The
working.
mature and the
Anyone can do that.
Is that where that statement comes from?
But- I don't know where that comes from. I don't
It's
know.
literally the same.
No. I think it's in another context.
It's not in this context.
Yeah,
It's-
I
it's
think
not
it's
in
more
that
to do with
context.
manhood.
Yeah.
As a character thing. No,
Bro, what side is that, bro? Yeah, what me?
What side is that? You know what I mean, you said.
Your department kairi ya ma two box ya masia.
Yeah.
Kuri maviti, ma limousine,
Eh,
ma crew,
ma Mercedes,
mafuso, ma tipa traki,
so better when you wait.
madampa,
Better when you wait.
kuri tuma Suzuki. So aliyen sasa nkamwa parking apenga road yanga sevenze, but I don't think you tomorrow umetachepa. No, I think that comes more from a character thing. Like a man, a real man, not just any kind of man. You know, a man regardless of what challenge comes their way, they can rise above it.
Okay.
A real man.
Isn't
Oh.
that like the other statement which says that Mamona sasa pura?
It's similar to
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to
Okay.
that.
So, okay. I get what you're saying.
Like no man is small enough for like no man is belittled by a challenge.
Okay.
No real man should be belittled by a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
A man stands up to his challenges, in other words,
Okay.
or he conquers his challenges.
He overcomes whatever challenges.
Yes,
Okay.
not that you moment no if you've been but like I was saying, when it comes to sexuality, like anyone can father a child, any man can father a child, but not every man is a father. You get it? That's a kid. But amano ya kusunga abana na family takwete mwana sana na yeye navamsunga fie na yeye nalala fie mtengo wa bread taishwati nshingo bunga taishwati
Okay, but that's
bamba obviously navamshtira. So he apa kwambia tete shibe, he would be crushed by the weight of that. Another important point I want to bring to this whole issue is that when it comes to men and sexuality, I think we need to be careful how we handle our sexuality. I think there's a strong link between one's sexuality and just general productivity. Ngawatwala sana maka kudidia shidia tap. Typically, you won't have time and energy to be productive in other areas of your life. This is where now you have this whole phenomenon of Mario.
yeah.
Nchito yako cheni kukwezeka vintu huku. But your own finances and just your own growth,
It's neither here or
it's
there.
neither here nor there. Well, you could have 50s. Amadia Shamagero what Tanankani 100. But when you talk about your own growth and what's this as a man, what have you built? What have you developed?
Yeah.
Zero.
I've already built stories, but
Yeah.
people know about me out there.
Because if you're about that game, you know, we live in a capitalist society where our interactions are also, it's money, it's transactions.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to be an addict and you be dealing with so many women where they're just going to give you their time for free. No. A lot of people need money, so for that time you're going to spend with her.
It's a
Even if
service.
even if the gentleman is not going to pay that woman for her time, uzasakira kutive. Even if you need to take her to your place, you need to get her from wherever she is. That's transport.
Yeah.
To take her to wherever you are.
Quick
Now, if you are
shamu.
doing that on a regular basis, a lot of your time and energy is going to
Directed
time
there.
to say, okay, ngumeko a business.
Ila progress zitapadi sana.
Yeah, like so it affects you in that way. So idea game media, you have to have a level of balance. But unfortunately, when you get introduced to sex at an early age, I think the consequences that you develop unhealthy habits and understandings of what it is.
Yeah.
And it can throw you in that avenue where your sex drive becomes the main thing and your growth and productivity in other areas suffers. Which is a story I'm a girl. You can't tell me anything you built.
Mariko.
Mariko!
Kakumana chewe venkanini.
Nia pache.
Might eat. I was like, okay.
Hello wakaramba, woman.
So
can't-
mnande
you can't-
kuvimbi like, there's this opportunity. Might
Yeah, it can't put you on any opportunity. The only opportunity is for you to throw you in that same line also.
problem bafana simuzi bavochile nikuimenyera ku left waimenyera ku right 10% like mjaya
Wailetera kubala sini
so
mpaka.
waiwona kuimenya so then ukapo eletera like bro no
But ama yezi yade yaka.
hey, tell me
Ama
something
yezi yade
different
yaka. Finish
okay?
work what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate case,
Yeah.
even though most people can have a light moment of it. What they need to understand is that there are real consequences to that whole situation.
Yeah.
I think more people need to get educated as to what abuse is when it comes to boys. For ladies, it's something we easily understand, but for men, we don't understand that, and we have this group of men who are abused and go into society with their abuse. And like they say, hurt people, abuse people also tend to be abused.
Yeah.
So they go out there and start putting some of these things out there.
Yeah.
So for us to produce a healthier quality of a man, who has a balanced sex drive, who has healthy attitudes towards sex, and a healthy understanding of what sex is, those are some of the critical issues we need to look at. What does abuse look like between an elderly woman or just a woman abusing a man? Those are things we need to start engaging with that are not typically talked about, and educating boys on, say, oh, this is what abuse looks like. When a woman does this to you, and
They're abusing you.
Abuse. It might feel good in the moment, but there's long-term and real-life consequences. Yeah, but that's that, man. Okay. Just the other to the slapping.
Oh yeah, I got it.
That's another thing. That whole slapping thing.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes
No,
from?
like I think he's been watching a lot of porn. Bro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that guy, like that young guy,
Yeah.
he's been watching a lot of porn. Yeah, he's. He was like,
Bro, I hope you don't have it in your phone.
I could decide, but where video?
So then why did you watch it, man? If it's not on
Where
the phone.
video? Okay.
So another thing with that, it's another point I think we also need to talk about. You see, I think that's a damage porn does to.
Yeah.
You take what you're watching on screen, and then you want to reenact that in real life.
Yeah.
Now, you see, when you look at pornography, those are things that people act. It's manufactured to give you a certain perception of what sex is. So those people are actors and whatnot. Certain scenarios are created just to give you a certain sensation. It doesn't mean that realistically that's what happened.
That's what I know.
They will give you that perception to us to say, oh, this is what it is. But real sex is different.
Yeah.
Okay? There are people, like ordinary women or certain, like some women, they're not going to do those things.
Yeah.
So you have this unrealistic expectation of what it should be, or this unrealistic of understanding of what it should be. And you go in there and you start doing those things. Women will not be down for those things.
Like, bro, it's hating. Why is slapping me?
Yeah, so you go. That's where those unhealthy attitudes come about. So you have this unrealistic thing, and these things are shot and edited with cameras. People will shoot maybe multiple scenes. One scene will look like it's 1 hour. When even just the podcast, when you're shooting the podcast, there's certain times we will remove certain elements of the podcast. We'll add like a small bit. In the end, we might shoot maybe two different segments, maybe in different time slots. But when you watch it, it looks like one whole continuous thing.
Yeah.
This thing is edited to give you a specific perception.
Of course.
When you watch it, you think everything was recorded at once. Something might have been recorded over a course of 2 days. So now you with your immature mind, you'll be there thinking, oh, yeah, so when you're in there sleeping with the woman, you have to make sure you go for... I remember there was a guy at school who used to be at college. That's why sex education is important. Because my guy is man. Ati, no, me, I was in there for 3 hours.
Bro. What are you doing 3 hours? Sure.
3 hours.
Fish win.
Kurwa. Niko
Mwana wa bananu yo wina.
Wala na urumu.
My guys, mwakala ma story.
Mwana wa bananu yo wina.
3 hours. Hey, nina mupenda muda. Chicken style. Hey, chankada soda.
You know.
So if my porn mem them.
Ufuna pinda mwana wa wene mwango mwene vibaba visa tia you start represent.
I no get my thinking of.
You start represent.
Why so much stuff in
You gotta represent.
Wait. But jabakazi wajari mfilm mujana gona na muna ngati.
Uzationa mwana.
From Pandora mzako.
Pandora season.
Wala control mwana wa wene.
Mambo kuma mapawa huko. Ya 25 ule ni mapawa wewe. Ukafika kuisa by the time ya 40. Yeah, you now cut gearbox. How do you fanya imwe?
Jekinis.
Wanaongeka. Yeah, but that's it. Okay, this is quite a huge topic.
Yeah. We can also break it down next time.
Yeah. I think we've discussed enough.
Yeah.
Saye sitakupinda mnamo msapchora msana.
And remember, noche mukazipinda mukaziverenga na mabill 7 ma-constitution maziva vevichitika mchalo. You understand how
Very
your politicians are making decisions
And you
on
know,
your behalf.
is that the problem is that people people will be up to date.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Updated. So na
That's what
content
sells.
walinayo.
Yeah.
Unachiona chimfu.
That's what
Mfana
sells.
huyu.
That's what sells.
Yeah.
But that's why I was alluding to the fact also that, you know, you need to understand communication, especially if you're a government or if you're trying to educate people on something. You must understand communication. There's something I read say, if you want to influence somebody or teach them something, you can impart on them. Don't go to them from your perspective where you are. So let's say I want to teach you about vehicles. I'm very proficient in motor vehicles and what's this. I come to you, I start telling you, bro, do you know the differential and the torque of this thing when the engine is what's this? I'll lose you. I have to come to where you are.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, how's the weekend? Man?
Layman level.
Yeah. If your thing is soccer, I get at you through soccer. I come to your level. We start speaking a common language. When I start throwing you 1 or 2 lines with what I want you to understand. Not for kwambira pa pamulu. It goes over people's heads.
Yeah, true.
Literally.
But yeah, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Bill 7 and the abuse of young boys.
This is episode 20. We are still going strong.
It's episode 20.
Hey, serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That one
Am I counting wrong, bro?
Kai problem funa 20 fike mganza pano pazanga avokuda.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, you gonna buy that.
Yes,
You know what?
We now have that.
It's on phase 1. Thank you for
We
phase
now
1.
have that.
Phase
Phase one and sponsoring a camera.
Yeah. So, basta chembu na bantu abaonane na ma microphone hapa.
But anyway, it's